Welcome to the Tech Force Airgun Guru Show. And today we're going to talk about scope mounts. Well, these are the Tech Force scope mounts. And being in the airgun industry, we know the quality that is demanded for airgun scope mounts. So what we're offered today is, let me get my little trusty pointer, two type of scope mounts, and these are our mainstream mounts. These are what we sell on a daily basis. First of all, we have the low mount, and we call this a low mount because it sits only a ½ inch off of the receiver. And I'm going to bring this tape over, and this is an important part when you're buying mounts. From the center of the bottom of the curve there down is a ½ inch. And let's move over to this one I've got the top off of. So from right here in the bottom to the base, that's a ½ inch. Now I want to move back up to this gun here that we have a sample up at. Now these are the high mounts. These are up an inch. And the reason this is important to know the height is because right here in the front, because we got to know, have plenty of clearance here for this bell. So this particular style scope has a big front bell. This is called the bell. So you want to make sure you got plenty of clearance between the bottom of the bell and the receiver. So when you're trying to figure out what kind of mount you're looking for, you got the highs and you got the lows. So let's go back over here to the low mount, which is a ½ inch clearance of the receiver, and look at the top. I'm going to roll it over to the cameraman. You got 4 screws with the hex driven heads. These are machine screws. This is what holds it in place while it's on the gun. And this is not a 2 screw, it's not a cheapie. Let's roll this end around and let's see if the illustrious cameraman can see the 2 screws that actually clamp the grooves onto the receiver. So this has a 4 screw on the top to secure your scope into the mount, and has the 2 machine screws on the side. Now what I have out here with the top off is a rear mount. Now some guns have a hole or indentation in the rear of the gun to secure the mount, and I'll roll this over. If you look at the bottom, you'll see it protruding out. Some guns have it, some guns don't. So for the ones that don't have it, you just take your Allen wrench and back it out, and it can stay in that position. Also too, while I got the cameraman here, on a close-up, I want him to show you how beefy the bottom of this mount is. So there's a lot of material there to lock onto your scope rails. These are real quality mounts. We sell hundreds of them a day. And let me just turn this one up here, and the cameraman will come back and get some close-ups of it when I get through talking. Alright, now let's go to what we call the high mount. And again, I'll take the tape rule, and from the bottom of this mount, where the scope would be sitting, to the top of your receiver, this is a 1 inch. And again, remember, that's for clearance on the front of your scope. We call it the bell. And this too is the 4 screw top. And again, the cameraman will come back here at the end. You see your Allen hex head machine screws in your top. And of course, this is like the low mount. It has the stud that comes to the bottom. Some guns use it, some guns don't, but it's there for you. And I turn it on the edge, and again you can see the 2 screws that hold it on to the scope rails. So you know, this is for the larger scopes. This is the one you're going to need. But like I say, the very simple rule is to measure from the bottom of your scope mount to your receiver, and then go to the front bell of your scope and see how much distance you got. And again, I'll get the cameraman to come up here Back on the gun we have on display. This particular gun is a Tech Force 89. But you see your clearance right there on your front bell. And this is again a 1 inch from right here up. And there's where your tube sits in there. So that's how you measure it, because a lot of guys buy them, they get the wrong mounts. This is the easy way to do it. And we featured not too long ago, which is on the web there, the laser point sight flashlight combination that we sell with the Tech Force mounts. And you can see I have these sitting on this 27x32, and they're in high mounts because I wanted enough clearance. So when you're buying your mounts, it's just a simple rule of thumb. Make sure you have, and I'm going to the front of this 27x32, make sure you have enough clearance there on the bell, you know, when you mount it, because you don't want it touching the receiver because it'll tear the scope up. But these are real high quality mounts. We've been selling them for years. It's not the cheap pot metal. The price is very attractive. It's probably the best in the industry. And it's just a couple other products brought to you by the Tech Force Airgun people. We're proud to sell them. And we know that you can use these on, of course, air guns and regular rifles, firearms, pistols, etc. So from the Airgun Guru, have a nice day.